Good morning, beautiful people. Rise and shine. Wonderful people, wonderful people. Thank you for your commitment to personal improvement. Let me say it again. Thank you for your commitment to personal improvement. Listen, it's all about you getting better. Coach, why do you want me to get better? I want you to get better because God is going to be glorified through your life. You need to let your light shine on a hilltop. Every day you're working to get better, getting better in your environment, getting better with your health, getting better with your relationships, getting better with your finances, getting better with all that you put your hands to. I want you to declare that with me. I'm getting better in every area of my life. Why am I so repetitive? Why am I saying the same thing all the time? Because a lot of us, we're so far behind. We're so far from where we should be that we need somebody to remind us that every day you got to commit to doing the work, to becoming the person that you were created to be. Here's what I know. Here's what I know. I know that it is easier just to get the truth mentioned around you and not do anything with it than it is to grab a hold of the truth and then unlearn what you should have never learned and then do the work to make what you've discovered your reality. There's a devil loose. Come on, the Bible says he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. There are bad habits that have a tendency of constantly emerging back into your life, bringing you back to that stuck place. I don't know about you, but I know this one thing about me. I'm trying to chip my way to the top. I'm trying to make small progress over time that will show that I'm getting better with age. What am I doing? I'm making small progress. I'm making small corrections. I'm making small improvements over time to get me to where I'm trying to go. So there is no day off. No, there's no day off. As a matter of fact, what some have confused to the whole concept of Ricardo's always going is that Ricardo is working towards a life that is well managed. And in managing your life, you move from the broad way. Okay, when the Bible talks about the broad way, it says broad is the way that leads to death and destruction. When we talk about living the narrow way is the effective living way. Okay, listen, write this down for me. I'm committed to living the narrow way. Go ahead, write that down. I'm committed to living the narrow way. What is the narrow way? The narrow way is the effective living way. It is the way that's not the norm. Okay, it's not the way that's the norm. No, it's not. Why is it not the norm? Because the majority of people don't like who they are. That's not living life effectively. The majority of people have to, they don't get to choose to. As a matter of fact, no matter how old you are, you want to do the work to find yourself moving towards having a greater control on how your life is played out. There are a lot of people who talk big, but they can't make big moves. There are a lot of people who haven't chipped away in correcting behaviors that should have been stopped and adjusted a long time ago. But what they have been doing is repeating bad behavior, but yet their desire within the heart is for change. But I'm here today to tell you, for your habits to change, you've got to change. I'm here to tell you, you can't just know the truth. You can't just allow yourself to be impressed by the truth. You got to make up in your mind every day. So yesterday, I challenged you to look at the ugly truth that we gave attention to yesterday, which is taking care of your health. Health is wealth. You got to know your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit. You've got to keep it clean. You've got to take care of it. Now, this morning, I want to go ahead and dive into part 2 Part two of the ugly truth, and that is, write this down. Drum roll, everybody. Pa 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 pa. Drum roll. Here's the deal. If you are doing life without a community, you're doing life wrong. If you are doing life without a community, without a tribe, without a support group, without family, without network, you're doing life wrong. The ugly truth is that you were created. Okay? You were created to do something significant in the earth, and you can't do that by yourself. To even raise your children well, you're going to need somebody. To acquire that dream home that you want, you're going to need somebody. To build that business that you desire to have, you're going to need somebody. As a matter of fact, to take care of your body and while the aging process is going to happen, you're going to need somebody. Most people who don't have a community, most people who don't have a tribe, most people who don't have a support group, most people who don't have friends, most people who don't allow themselves to develop family and allow themselves to not be alone, losers. They are taken advantage of. They are taken advantage of. Let me tell you something. If you've been a coaching client of mine for a while, you know what I teach. That, listen, the kid with the most friends on the playground can't be bullied. I'm not talking about the kid who knows the most people on the playground. That's not friends. The kid who has the most friends on the playground, that's a Ricardo Miller statement. The kid who has the most friends on the playground can be bullied. You know why? Somebody's going to say, not him. Not him. You can't. How many of you have spoken up for somebody before? Because you said, no, not him. How many of you had someone spoke up for you before? Come on, write it in the comment section. This morning, I got a full schedule. I'm not going to be before you long. I just need you to know. If you're not creating community, if you're not allowing yourself to do life with connecting with other like-minded people, and you're like, well, you know what? I don't have any friends. Listen, take this advice from me. Okay? You can change that. You don't have to stay that way. As a matter of fact, hear me. The greater the assignment on your life, the more people you're going to need. The greater the assignment on your life, the more people you are going to need. So I'm here today to tell you, if you're believing God to do big things, grand. That's why I highly suggest a vast number of my coaching clients. I say, hey, join Toastmasters. If you're wanting a stage and you want to speak and you want to be a communicator, your goal is to be a better leader. Listen, join Toastmasters. As a matter of fact, a number of you in 2024, you need to get back in the Toastmastering program. Go ahead and elevate and grow and develop in the different levels. A competent Toastmaster, an able silver Toastmaster, able bronze, an able gold. Go ahead and become a distinguished Toastmaster. Well able, very skilled in communication, very skilled in listening, very skilled in leadership. I endorse Toastmasters to the highest level. Then there are others. Listen, join Rotary, an organization that is service above self. Other phenomenal difference makers in the community. Join the Kiwanis Club. Join the PTA. Join a church. Okay? Join the Better Business Bureau. Join the Chamber of Commerce. Join the neighborhood association. Somebody, Miller, I don't have that kind of time. All of us have the same amount of time. All of us have the same. It's all about priorities. Write that word down. Priorities. I need to learn how to prioritize. Listen, you have a desire to do a lot. But when you look around you, you don't have a lot around you. You're going to be limited because your network is so limited. Your community, your support group is so limited. You want to have a tribe. You want to have a support group. You want to have a community that is rich and of like mind. And these are all individuals who are pursuing going to new levels and new heights. Decide today to do a few things. Okay? Embrace the principles that will move you towards having a very, very strong base of amazing people you can call friend. You can call friends. You can call family. Miller, that's going to be hard. Maybe you need to read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay? It's a skill. It's an acquired skill. You can learn how to build community. Some people, one of the reasons why, Miss Cynthia, a lot of people don't want to build community because they've been burnt. There's some people who've been burnt, Angela. There's some people, Lynette, who have gone through some difficult times and people have done them wrong and they have now cut off all people. I don't trust people. Listen, don't use that statement again. If you constantly build with the idea that you don't trust people and you're going to be limited. You're going to be limited. Oftentimes, the people who don't trust people don't really do a lot. They're just really stuck. Well, Miller boy, I don't trust people. You got to work on that. Because the calling of God on your life demands that you get past whatever that is that puts you in that place where you just don't trust people. Trust is a necessary ingredient for building a healthy community. Okay? Trust is a necessary ingredient to building a healthy community. It's impossible to live life effectively without community. You're going to need community. You're going to need family. You're going to need a tribe. That's the reason why. That's the reason why, for those of you who are watching for the very first time, you may want to write this down. That's the reason why we have the 5 F's. And listen to what it says. Faith, family. When you think of that word F in the 5 foundational base words that we build effective living around, when you hear the word family, we're talking tribe, we're talking community, we're talking network, we're talking club, we're talking association, we're talking friends. So faith, family, finance, fitness, which is health and fitness, and fun. Somebody said, Miller, when are you going to shake this? Man, listen, there's so many messages in the world. When is Coca-Cola going to get rid of Coke? When is McDonald's going to get rid of the Big Mac? When is Burger King going to get rid of the Whopper? When is Pizza Hut going to get rid of making pizza? Well, they're never going to get rid of it. Well, effective living is called effective living for a reason. That's the basis of who we are. We teach people that you should have it all. And well, I don't have it all. You should stay close to this platform then. And don't only just listen, because after a while you can become familiar. After a while you can start to let it go in through one ears and go through. Somebody, well, I used to listen to him. Well, did you do what he suggested? Did you apply? Your life won't change until you apply the truth that comes your way, that is needed to be the difference maker in getting you to where you're trying to go. It is easy to be in a class where the teacher is teaching you the information to get you an A, but because you're in the class and you're distracted and you're engaging in just being a participant in loose, engaging activities with the friends in the class, but not paying attention to the teacher of the class, and you're not getting engaged with trying to get an A, you end up with a failed term. And it's not that you weren't in the class. It's not that you weren't in the class. You've got to make up your mind. You know, I'm doing classes now. I'm doing some digital, virtual, online classes right now. And I'm making up in my mind that every time I go to class, I have to learn something. And then as I discover what I didn't know before, I make a commitment to try to apply it and get that into rhythm, get that into activating it into my life. Your life is not going to be better because you bought everybody's book. Your life is not going to be better because you went to every class. Your life is not going to be better because you got all of the different levels of degree. You got the associate, you got the bachelor's, you got the master's. Come on, you went and got a PhD. Your life is not going to get better just because. The truth of the matter is, I know people who got a lot of degrees and they ain't doing well at all. I know a lot of people who bought everybody's book and they're still not doing well. I know there are people who said, well, I've read all of John Maxwell's book, and you're still not a leader. Well, you know, boy, I read all of Miles Monroe's book, and you still haven't discovered your purpose. Still not walking in your gift. What's going on with you, Miller? Why are you so strong this morning? Why are you so adamant? Why are you so in your face this morning? Because it's the week of the ugly truth. We're about to close out a year. We're about to close out the year. We're coming down now to this is day 12, right? And before you know it, this month will be gone. When this month is gone, you're about to embark on a new year. You've got to change some things. I've got to change some things. I'm going where I've never gone before. I want you to go with me. I want us to go into 2024. I'm believing, God, that effective living is going to influence and make an impact in the earth with more than 1 million ambassadors. I'm going to crank up my message. I'm going to be like a wild man, a crazy man, living this message, building a community around this message, and learning how to live off the message that I teach. Okay, I don't want to just teach this thing. I want to be an ambassador. I want to embody the message. I want to be the epitome of all that I teach. I want my life to reflect what you hear me talk about. I don't want to just talk well. I want to live well. So when I tell you effective living is creating a life you don't need a vacation from, you need to tell yourself, Father God, help me to become one with what I know. Because once you become one with what you know, God will allow you to align your life up with the principles that will put you in that perfect place. Come on, somebody. That perfect place is where purpose presides. That perfect place is where you're operating and working your potential and bringing about the gifting that is within you that is causing you to show up every day and give service to humanity, where people are being blessed and lives are being changed. Learning how to be a fish in water, where your natural element is. When the devil tries to kill, steal, and destroy, and show up in your life and try to disrupt all that you're about, you got to tell yourself, listen, because I'm in purpose, because I'm functioning in what I believe is God's idea for my life, it's going to turn itself out for my good. It is going to turn itself out for my good. I don't have to concern myself about the devil. What I need to do is concern myself with the will of God. And the will of God is that I will not be broke, sick, and frustrated. It is the will of God for me to be the head and not the tail. It is the will of God for me to align myself up. Listen, guys, with no sick days, no broke days, no frustrated days. Somebody said, well, Miller, you're going to go through. Here's the deal. Just keep going. And I'll be able to say, even though I walk through the valleys of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, because God is with me. Even the things that the enemy, even the things that people would try to do to take me out, God's hands is on my life. And he has preserved me for such a time as this. And I'm going to win even when the devil or those individuals being used by the devil tries to conjure up a plan to take a brother out. God is with me. God is for me. God is going to use me to be glorified in the earth. That's what you got to remind yourself. So every day you're trying to become a little bit more like who he has created you to be. In your pursuit to glorify God, find other like-minded people who want to glorify God. In closing, when Jesus showed up and he says, now is the time for me to step into ministry and do the work of God, the next thing he did was he identified individuals he wanted to do his journey with. That's why in 2024, I'm doing more in-person meeting. That's why in 2024, we're going to have some meetups. We're going to do the cruise. Oh, man, listen, if you have not called Alex and says, listen, Alex, I have to be on the Effective Living 2024 cruise, man, you could be missing out. Message me, because we want to take 50 strong to the Bahamas in 2024. October is the time where you're going to do that. Now, here's what I know. Everybody talks about wanting an amazing life. Very few people don't realize it just takes little practical things. If done correctly over time, you'll have an amazing life. Like the cruise experience, if you call Alex today, you pay $50 a week, $20 a week. By July, you'd have already paid your cruise. You go on an 8 to 10 day cruise. I mean, listen, you can go ahead and just totally enjoy yourself. How do you get to do a cruise every year? Because you decide to pay $25 a week. You pay $50 a week, and then you tell yourself, hey, listen, I'm gonna treat myself. Okay? You don't have forever to treat yourself. You got to learn how to enjoy life. That's a major part of effective living, being present, doing it with other like-minded people. There is no judgment in the community. The goal is for everybody to find themselves in him, knowing who you are, liking who you are, and becoming who you could be even more in these days, weeks, and months that are being given to you. That's what effective living is about. So I want you to mark this day. Start looking at who am I? So do I have 5 good male friends? Do I have 5 good female friends? Do I have some well-educated friends? Do I have some sound money friends? Do I have some people in my community that are really climbing? I could see them 3 years from now, higher, higher, higher. Come on, somebody write that down. Higher, higher. I'm going higher. They're going higher. We're not intimidated. Neither are we jealous. Neither are we pulling back, because we see those who've been with us climbing. Listen, stay close. Hello, that's the word of the Lord for you this morning. Stay close. If someone's going up, don't distance yourself. Stay close. And then here's what you got to remember. It's impossible. It's impossible to put your hands in a bucket of glue without some of that glue sticking to you, but you got to put your hands in it. Hello, I am putting my hands in it. In 2024, I'm putting my hands in it. I'm putting my hands in a bucket of glue. I'm going in, all in, because I want what God has for me. I'm never going to waste another day. That's my goal. I'm never going to waste another day. I'm never going to waste another week. I'm never going to waste another month. I'm never going to waste another year. Somebody said, Miller, you've been hardcore on this message for a while. And here's the deal. I'm changing daily. I'm becoming better, all for Christ to be glorified through my life. My goal is to get better with age. My goal is to identify little ways that I can improve. So here's what I know. If you're constantly frustrated, you're doing a lot of things wrong. If you're not supported by a community that is enriched, that can help elevate you to new levels and new heights, you can start assessing who the people are around you and make some adjustments. You can change that. Growing trees lose leaves. Okay? Growing trees lose leaves. And then there are some people, you cut off people too fast. Some people are destiny helpers. Destiny helpers. Jonah, okay? Jonah was about to throw off the boat. But watch this. Jonah was out of the will of God. Okay? But guess what? On the boat, somebody realized, well, you out of the will of God. Throw that dude out of the boat. And guess what? He ended up aligning back up in the will of God. Joseph found himself with some destiny helpers. A destiny helper in prison. Okay, David, destiny helper. He had Jonathan come and say, "Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you this. I'll let you know if my father tries to kill you." Moses had a destiny helper. His father-in-law comes up to him and says, "Hey, man, the way you're doing this, you're not doing it right." Okay, Ananias was a destiny helper to Saul on the road to Damascus. We all gonna need somebody. And here's the deal. You got to get to the point where you stop dismissing people so fast. I know we got this new thing out, but cutting everybody off, but you can't cut everybody off. Jesus left Judas at the table because Judas was necessary for purpose to be fulfilled. Write that down. Post that on your page. Judas was necessary for purpose to be fulfilled. You can't have the majority of the people at your table being Judas, but it's okay to have a Judas, because even Judas has a plan, is a part of the plan. Okay, so don't be afraid to identify some people who are quite not who you would prefer to be at the table. Some of those people got to be at the table as well. That's why you got to have a thick skin. You can't be so fickle. As soon as someone says something to you that you don't like, the way they look at you, you don't like their accent, you don't like their height, you don't like their ethnicity, and you're dismissing people when they could be your Ananias, the deliverer, the person that touch you and get you your sight back. They can be the Judas who actually get you to the cross. If the cross is your destiny, don't put Judas out. You're going to need Judas. That's a word for somebody. I'm here today to tell you, I am the collective contribution of a bunch of incredible people who have helped me to become who I am today. I love people. I trust people. I need people. And guess what? The community that's around me continues to grow because I'm choosing not to do life alone. And I don't have to do it with just people who are blood. I don't have to do it with people who are just Bohemian. I don't have to do it with people who are just church folks. I don't have to just do it with people who went to school with me. Listen, man, the world has over 8 billion people on the planet. You say, I want to travel the world. Well, you know what makes traveling even more joyous and beautiful? Having people throughout the world that you can connect with while you're traveling. Whoo! Megs, come on, testify. Megs, you got friends all around the world because you're friendly. You've made a commitment to do life with others. So many of us are not doing life with others because we got these hang-ups. We got these biases. We got these preferred ways that actually are not kingdom. They're not godly. They're not the best way for building community. Get over yourself and identify, what am I doing that's hurting me and keeping me back from being my best self? Have a great day, guys. I love you all. Thank you for entrusting me with your early mornings. We want to go to the top together. Today, it's about building community. We need each other. Write that down. We need each other. God bless you. Bye-bye.